Hold on, pause that, Tony. I'll ask you about that in a second. Let's have a look at the series layout, though, for the one that's happening next door as well. We've got Shopify Rebellion versus ITB Esports happening in Pool D. And we kind of talked a little bit about this earlier on. Tony, I know you mentioned Slayer Aquarius. You know, how important is game number 1, though, for both of these teams to get a really hot start? Who do you think feeds into that the most?
I mean, for me, it's literally got to be Shopify Rebellion. Like I said it before, 3-1 or 3-0 is the expectation as far as this team. Although on the other side of things, you have a very good ITB roster. I think you have that expectation of yourself. And then on top of that, I think it means something that ITB are undefeated on Aquarius. That I think it means something that they literally beat the very business roster that's now going by Proton right now. They beat that old Proton roster as well. And on top of that, they even beat SSG on Aquarius. Like, they're a really good Aquarius team.
When I look at this series layout, I get terrified for the side of ITV because of the amount of precision power weapons that are going to be featured throughout this suite. You have Solitude with the shock rifle. You have Recharge with the shock rifle. You have 2 snipes on Empyrean. You have the S7 as well on Livefire. All of those power weapons give Shopify opportunities to make plays if they are able to achieve those. If I'm ITB, the focus has got to be denial of those weapons to players like Suppressed on the side of Shopify, because if they get those weapons, we already know what the outcome is going to be. Highlight reels are going to be made on the side of Shopify. ITB have to do a good job of controlling those precision weapons throughout the first 4 games if they want any hope of trying to push this to a best of 5.
Indeed, you can see them right now getting set up. They're ready to go. We can see the screens. They're going to be starting to load up very shortly. There they are. A glimmer of hope there, I think, for this ITB Esports, because if there is one thing I know is that sometimes starts like this can shake a couple of teams, where the Shopify Rebellion will be shaken by this kind of slow start.
This pause.
Yeah, this pause. Exactly. It is a real thing, folks. That can actually happen. And we do see that sometimes really mentally weighing on players.
Yeah, I don't think we talk about the human side of players enough throughout esports, and getting your adrenaline rush. You've been waiting for over a month and a half to showcase all the hard work that you've put in. The adrenaline rush of sitting down for your first series, and all of a sudden you get pause breaks, technical difficulties, whatever the issue may be. As a player, you have to be able to sift through that and find your flow still. Very quick, like this game is going to start at a very high pace. So if you find yourself a little lackluster getting into it, you could find yourself in trouble and down in a game that you knew you had control of if those technical difficulties hadn't happened or the match had started on time. Into gameplay for the first time now. Shopify versus ITB Esports, and it looks like Shopify have won the opening break, and SoulSnipe already with shock in hand.
And they carried that opening break into something close. As of right now, it's ITB that currently have the lead as far as this hill so far, but it matters about how you finish it as opposed to how you start. Back-to-back kill for Shopify Rebellion. SoulSnipe sitting up high with the shock. This is what you want to see. Here comes Mighty, though. Oh, that's a triple on him.
Yeah, look at this. 3 down for Shopify. SoulSnipe not able to find a pick with the shock rifle, not able to put it to use. And with that, ITB over 80% of this first hill. Throughout the opening break, Shopify actually do a good job of getting the weapon, but ITB focused on that early hill time. Looks like they're going to be rewarded with the first point.
Mighty not able to connect with that shock, but still 1-0 lead here for ITB, and WuTum already has presence on the strong side. He's already pushing through loot.
A phenomenal start for ITB. Exactly what we want to see if this is going to be a series that can go the distance. WuTum under a lot of pressure through the driveway. Going to repulse out. Mouse and keyboard, the flick movement. You can't do that on controller. He gets out of dodge, plays his life. And now with the man advantage opportunity here, ITB can get some significant time with 1 round of slays.
Same place where WuTum was pushing through the loop side. Now you see Shopify Rebellion do the same, but they're sent right back. 3 down for Shopify. Only 1 left. SoulSnipe gets the kill, but he can't stay alive. ITB win that engagement.
What a difficult kill for SoulSnipe to try to achieve there. A little shaky shots, but WuTum with great movement made that such a difficult place for Shopify to try and break. Right now, though, Shopify do have control of Yard. It's a double push from LR and Flowers right now. ITB are going to be able to get these kills. WuTum with another double, I believe, is going to be able to get some early hill time once again. And watch out, ITB with 1 round of slays are going to be able to go up 2-0 in this first game.
That was another 3 down for Shopify Rebellion. They're spawned on the opposite side of the map. Great setup by ITB and great job of watching each other's backs and getting those angles. And now look how much space WuTum is taking. He may have gone down, but he might spawn a back tram.
Great shots out of Jimbo to take down SoulSnipe, but Shopify break through. The hill not yet scored for ITB gives Shopify an opportunity. This hill, a very difficult one to break. You got to get into yard several different ways, but it's almost a fortress at times. You got to find the first pick. They do so onto SoulSnipe. This push on loop is now so important. It's a 2-on-2 situation. The nades are not good from Cykul, and Cykul still with no shield is taken down. 2 go down on each side, however. The hill neutralized, and ITB now with feet in the hill are going to be able to score this point.
ITB always prioritize pushing the strong side of that hill. They give up that blue control to make sure that they're pushing through the glass side, through the tram side, then attacking from multiple angles. That's how they took that hill. That's how they're up 2-0, even against Shopify Rebellion.
We talked about it right before the game started. You can get caught sleeping, especially during these breaks, and it looks like Shopify caught sleeping. They have the early rotation to this third point. Still plenty of time on the clock. 3:49 with 2 hills already capped. There's plenty of time for Shopify to come back in this game, but they have got to start making plays. They are not winning the Battle of Slaves right now, and ITB able to neutralize this hill as they get the first kill. Positive signs for them to break this early setup.
Love this snipe side presence coming out of WuTum. You have 3 members trying to push up through blue, and WuTum is covering their backs perfectly. However, ITB do end up going 3 down. Now WuTum's by himself. There should be some good time here for Shopify.
Last guy, last WuTum. Camo is up. 2 players from Shopify on Camo. Mental snaps onto WuTum to take him down. They do get away with that camouflage. Hopping on board with Suppress. They're in the hill as well. ITB doing a good job to neutralize this hill to make sure that Shopify don't get too much significant time, but Suppress making plays with this camo can set them up to make this at least a 1-score game.
Down 0-2. They really need Suppress to go off with this camouflage. They also need ITB to go 3 down. They literally got just that. The final player will not have any impact at all. That's zMightys that ends up going down, and the first hill should be going to Shopify Rebellion. How do you not see him?
He stuck him, though. A beautiful stick. The turn from Suppress is going to allow Shopify to get right back in this game. 2-1, 3 minutes on the clock, so time not necessarily a factor yet. And ITB need to find a way to stop the momentum Shopify are starting to build, because that was almost a flawless hold since that camo picked up.
And not only was Shopify able to take that third hill, but look, they're already set up early here towards this A side of the map. They have some good presence, but that's until ITB busts through the front door. Here comes WuTum. Here comes the rest of the crew chasing Rebellion away, and now literally chasing them all the way to bottom mid. Did WuTum a full rotation though out of Shopify? Will this work out? Mental's able to take down WuTum. TchiK goes right after Suppress, but that's still a 3 down for both squads, a momentary 1v1.
Yeah, the hill neutralized more so no team able to score points throughout this. Cykul versus TchiK, the last 2 players alive, and TchiK wins a big one there as he's able to take down Cykul. 2 go down now. Shopify don't have map control, don't have numbers. ITB in the driver's seat of this 4th point, and they will be able to get a significant amount of time here with Shopify coming off respawn.
So a 1 cap advantage coming in for ITB at the moment. Missed melee is going to get you every single time there. Another 3 down, another opportunity for Shopify to take presence on the map and punish ITB.
SoulSnipe with a slow start to this game, 6-5-9, but he found himself the camo. A bit of an early shot where he thought he could get a kill. A difficult one made by ITB, and because of it, Shopify not only lose the camo, they go all 4 down, and all of a sudden, ITB will be able to tie up the progression here in Hill 4, and they can even take the lead. If they go up 3-1, that is such an unbelievable lead for them to try to play around here in this game 1. Let's see if they have what it takes to get 1 more round of Slays.
1 more push for Shopify Rebellion. 1 more round of Slays is all that is needed for ITB to close this one out. Cykul tries to make his way through the loop side. He doesn't get kill onto zMightys, but now it's a 2-pronged attack. Now with 3 prongs, you got presence on yard, loop, and driveway. But can you execute if you're Shopify Rebellion? Jimbo, now the final player alive here. He's 1 shot, but he can't get it.
But look how much time Jimbo just bought. Respawners already in yard. zMightys with grenades going to be able to do some serious damage to these players. 3 players for Shopify, all eating the grenades. Almost picks up a big double on the side of zMightys. He is traded out. A 2-on-2 situation. Tony, look how close these points are.
It's Rebellion holding out ITB at the moment here. WuTum's trying to find a way in. He's going to have to fight his way through. Drop from the heavens to get that melee. Now here comes TchiK to replace him. The final seconds are in. That's ITB stealing yet another one.
They get the point. They go up 2 points. Now 2 minutes on the clock. And ITB, the hill will rotate towards Shock Rifle. ITB get to play from such a significant lead. If they are able to neutralize this next hill for even 30, 45 seconds off this clock, this last hill that goes back to bottom middle is going to be so difficult for Shopify to try and capture. The big question is can ITB break the setup? That's the door getting kicked open by Jimbo. A big one-on-one against Mental will give his team numbers and a camouflage in the hands of WuTum.
Less than 2 minutes on the clock, so time is on your side of your ITB. Camouflage is clearly on your side, and right now you're in the hill, so map presence and positioning is on your side. Everything is going in favor of ITB right now. Shopify Rebellion, they're in trouble.
I warned you about time becoming a factor throughout this game. It is all of a sudden a factor. 1:24 on the clock and a lot of progression needed for Shopify to even make this a 1-point game. WuTum with the movement and the slays to match give ITB complete map control once again. Shopify back on respawn. Back it down, LR, WuTum says. And he's got control of the power position for this hill. And a minute on the clock, Shopify have got to be sweating.
And just to remind you guys at home, it's just over a minute on the clock, but not to capture one hill. You need 2 in order to do it. Literally a minute on the clock is maybe most of the time just enough to capture one. Shopify Rebellion, they need these slays bad, and Suppress being the first one to go down is not what the doctor ordered. And SoulSnipe does the same. ITB right now are winning the slays. Shopify are going to lose this.
19, 13, and 13 from the newly 18-year-old player, WuTum, mouse and keyboard phenom, continuing his success from Arlington here in Game 1 of HCS London, putting on one hell of a performance. 37 seconds on the clock. It's frozen. Shopify do finally break the setup, start to get the hill, but it will literally be needed. Perfect halo from this point on if Shopify plan on coming back in this game.
Yeah, I mean, even 37 seconds of neutral time, even if they capture it right now, when that hill moves over towards bottom mid is a huge slaying hill, which obviously favors ITB. This hill right here is tough to play Slayer on, but ITB are making it work once again. From 2 minutes down to 30 seconds to a 3 down, and time is winding down fast once again.
Every win condition from ITB, every win condition is in their favor right now. You just need one more round of slays. 20 seconds, 18 seconds, the clock ticking down. Shopify being put on respawn as well. The last 2 players alive, make it 1 player alive. Last player is Cykul. He has the camo, but with 10 seconds, he's all by himself and forced to try and make a play. Let's see what he does.
The moment he shoots it, the moment ITB are calling him out, and now that he's in the hill, they know exactly where he's at, but he still rips one. 2 goes down. That's huge plays coming out of Cykul and Shopify. That should net them this hill. 5 seconds. It stops as the hill is moving. You have to get in this next hill, and you cannot get out.
Can you be perfect, Shopify, to tie this game up? You need slays. You have to continuously find respawners and apply pressure. They do a great job of getting the first 2 kills. The hill guy does go down to leave 1 second going off the clock, but it's immediately recaptured by Shopify, and they will have a setup that ITB are forced to break.
Luckily for Shopify, you do have that grace period to move from one hill to the other with no time going down, and only 1 second since you started. You're over halfway done right now. ITB, you can't choke this.
4 seconds on the clock. The hill carrier taking down SoulSnipe, the last player alive. He's going to slide into it, but here comes the ITB pinch. WuTum and TchiK will put a punctuation on game 1, and ITB will show you that they're here to play in this series.
Holy smokes. That's all I can really say after that. There are so many elements happening there. First of all, I've got to say ITB, what a way to show up. You see an opportunity, you see something you can maybe capitalize on, especially up against your opponent when you know you are the underdog in this situation. And what a way to have a start to a series. The break was stunning there. Absolutely dominant. That performance, not only to control that first hill so quickly, which is never really something we see. That first hill is always a grueler, and it takes up a majority of the game, the first 2 hills. Incredible from these guys to hold it down like that, and not only that, to not even have a shock rifle in your hand, to make sure that that was irrelevant all the way back over, right in the back of it. Like, it was just perfect. I've got to also say that I'm really impressed with WuTum. I think obviously being a keyboard and mouse player, but not only that, the damage he was dealing, the engagements he had, because not only did he have such an incredible KD, but his KDA, the assists coming from that man, I mean, insane. He's also 18. He's a man now. Just to let you know.
I think that's part of the beauty of of what mouse and keyboard allows you to do. You are not limited to a sense. Your ability to transition from target 1 to target 2 is unbelievably faster than a controller player is able to. So when you are on fire, you can be more impactful against on the mouse and keyboard against controller players if you're on fire, if you have the skill to perform at that. WuTum continuing to show that Arlington was not a fluke and that he is here as a serious talent in the HCS. Even in that, if it's just this game 1 of the series, he shows you when WuTum gets going, it's hard to stop, and his impact is going to be heavily felt.
It is indeed absolutely insane. You can see right now the Slayer matchup, which of course Slayer is coming up next. Shopify Rebellion quite clearly taking the top of this one in terms of the balance here. So what can ITB do to answer back? I mean, they're already probably in the heads of Shopify Rebellion here, Tony. So they just need to keep this going, keep that momentum rolling. I think that's the biggest thing. But Shopify, they're going to try to put a stop to this. They're going to try to be that hurdle that they can't get over.
I mean, I talked about it before. They come from really good fundamentals. What did you see the whole time during that matchup? 3-1 splits every single time. It's 3 towards the strong side, whether that was Luke going toward the A side, then having one player angle out towards gold. Just great collapse, but it starts with sending your dominant resource towards that strong side of the map. In Slayer, they can do the same thing. I will say, you look at the records right now, King of the Hill, that was Shopify Rebellion's worst game type at Arlington. Slayer was their best.
You remember the graphic we looked at the top of the show where they had 2 players at the top of the Slayer leaderboard from Arlington?
There's a reason.
This is actually where Shopify get a little bit of something back. This is where you look at, as an underdog, if you're ITB, the Slayers are usually where you find your success. That's actually Shopify's strength. So for their opportunity here to rebound and reset the series at a 1-1 score, it's very good in their favor because of how strong of a Slayer team they are.
Something I did really like, Wes, as well, talking about strengths and maybe weaknesses. Shopify Rebellion showing glimmers of hope that maybe a weakness could turn into a strength here because they had fight in them at the end of that game. They had fight. Did they have the right fight here, though, to try and take the Slayer and turn things around?
Bit of an observer mode here, but it does look like Shopify have gotten off to a much better start here in Game 2 than they ever saw in Game 1. 4-1 now the lead, and the shock rifle now in SoulSnipe's hands. Starting to do work this time around as he finds the double.
6-1 start. Shopify Rebellion making sure they grab a hold of that shock, and zMightys making sure he gets it out of their hands. The big slay coming out of zMightys. Now his turn with the shock.
Yeah, you were looking at the potential of a highlight clip from SoulSnipe. He gets shut down by zMightys there. zMightys not able to have any success there, and Shopify continuing to have numbers in their advantage. A 10-3 start is exactly what the doctor ordered for Shopify fans.
Not a very good start here for ITB, but I can't say I'm surprised Recharge was the worst map when it came to Arlington. Meanwhile, like we said, Slayer, Shopify's the best game type. 11-4, still in favor of Shopify, but that's Jimbo shutting down 1. It's back-to-back kills for ITB, but a quick answer back for Shopify Rebellion.
Shopify seemed to have a good feel for this game too. 13-6 now. Everybody contributing to the Slays department over 3. Right now, TchiK, the only player not on the board yet with a kill, as pressure into the tower comes from ITB. They're able to find the first 2 kills, get right back into this game. It's a 5-kill game, and if you're ITB, this pace is not something you're used to playing at. You want to slow down this game, but as you have numbers, they look to push.
Good to get the kill on one side here for ITB. However, Menso on the other side has yet to go down. He's 5-0 at the moment, 2 assists to go along with it, and it's Suppressed that has the responsibility of holding down this tower side. Mind you, there's 3 members of ITB, and he's going to find out the hard way.
Camo coming up the second one of the game. zMightys going to be able to put it into his chest, but unfortunately he's immediately traded out, and ITB's opportunity at a potential power-up to get them back into this game too, it's immediately erased. 20-10 now, the score continuing to hit that 10-kill margin differential. Shopify look like they're starting to get their feet on the ground, and that game 1 may have been a fluke.
Yeah, we're starting to see the reason why we talk about speed and timing when it comes to Shopify Rebellion. Even when they don't have numbers sometimes, they are quick to attack on the map and make their presence known. Get towards that single player and provide some kind of impact, as we're seeing 3 members navigating right through the long haul side of Shopify Rebellion, and Jimbo gets his head shredded off. A double out of Suppressed. Multiple going down for ITB. Shopify Rebellion have a 8-kill advantage. Oh, excuse me, 7, sorry.
Bit of a greedy play there from Suppressed to jump top middle and lose that shot rifle as he was looking to challenge just anyone and everyone right now. 26-17, still continuing to roll in the favor of Shopify, but you want to make sure you're not making those small mistakes, those small windows of opportunity that ITB can get right back into this.
SoulSnipe wants to catch up to Suppressed here. He's already over toward the A side, but down to one shot he goes. Suppressed goes down, and now SoulSnipe has to take a 1v2. Already goes through one. Down to one shot, almost takes down two, but here comes Shopify. It's no man left behind. The moment they come off a spawn, they will catch up to their teammates.
On board with Mental. Now the game's going to slow down here for just a second. All of ITB seem to be in pipes. There is one player, I believe, in the Mangler pit right now behind enemy lines. Cykul going to be the first one to go down. Jimbo with the flank from Mangler pit is the player I was talking about. He finds himself a double, and this is the most map control we've seen from ITB. Unfortunately, they are going to have a couple of trades go against them to make this still an 8-kill game.
Mighty wants to hold presence here toward that glass and gold side. Long haul right now belongs to ITB, but cross-map shots and a flanking TchiK could be a huge play. If Shopify Rebellion aren't aware of it, TchiK is already in there towards the tower side, and Mighty was covering his back from across the map, but I do see TchiK hit the black screen on that kill feed, and the rest of ITB, though, they're getting theirs.
3 go down for Shopify. Last player alive, SoulSnipe. He's going to get that camo. It does get denied from ITB, which was a win condition for them to get back into this game. Both times camo has come up, it has been burned, and when you are the team with a 10-kill lead, you are absolutely satisfied with that camo being negated and off the map. ITB needed to figure out a way to try and set up for that camouflage. Unsuccessfully, they were able to try in their attempt. And right now, 39-29, the score not becoming any closer as we approach 50.
Yeah, I mean, it's a double-digit lead in favor of Shopify Rebellion. I feel like we wouldn't be doing our jobs if we didn't talk about that TchiK right now. 2-10. The rest of the team, as far as KD-wise, not the end of the world, but TchiK, normally a consistent damage dealer for this squad, is struggling here on Recharge.
Yeah, it can happen on Recharge too, right? It's just how the game flows, and if you're an anchor player where you're not looking to be too aggressive, some of those kills are going to be so difficult to acquire just with timings and your opportunities. So maybe not a terrible point of view to watch from TchiK, but he's not having the success he needs. Cykul having the success he needs, however. 12, 4, and 7, a big double kill from him with a shock rifle, even able to stay alive and just be a nuisance. 41-33, it's an 8-kill game, but as we continue to get closer and closer to 50, Shopify gets closer, tying this series up and have even more room to play around.
He's the second youngest pro in the scene to my knowledge, but man, he plays like a vet. That shroud was huge to keep him alive and keep him in the fight, and just big plays come out of sight.
Mighty's with
back
the over.
Mighty, a triple and over. Mighty's with the answer back. ITB, they're not out of it.
Not out of it yet. A big 4 kills and an assist to match from Mighty's right there. I love the idea that he was able to play around that grapple, relocate so many times, and even use that last grapple to get this camouflage. This is the moment for ITB.
Nades are going down. SoulSnipe is zoned out. Now, it's becoming doable. You're only down by 4, making 5 kills after Cykul takes down Jimbo, but you still have the camouflage, does Mighty. This would be a massive comeback, one for the books.
You got to make a play with this camo. It's starting to run out on the side of Mighty's, but he doesn't have the support around him to start to try and find an opening. The support, it crumbles over towards the elevator as Shopify ignore the camo player on the map. They found the kills they need to make this a game in their favor. It ends with the camo player eventually getting taken down, and Shopify will tie this series up 1-1.
They certainly will indeed, and the answer back was there. And to be honest, I'm not that surprised. I think they set the pace right at the beginning. We knew that they were going to be a really, really good Slayer team. If anything, I'm actually quite impressed with ITB. The way that they tried to rally back, that's not easy to do, especially when you have a team who are very, very comfortable and confident on a mode. To set the pace right from the beginning and to try and find your feet under that can be very difficult. Tony, what did you like about that game that we just saw?
So I love the fight in them. I love the fact that they kind of crawled their way back in and almost took it.
Honestly, for me, Wes, I think the kind of comeback slowed down after that camo grab. And it's really strange to say that because usually that's everything you want to see. He gets the overkill, Mighty's does, and then he grabs that cam and you think, okay, this is perfect. You've got them all moving around right from C, pushing back in. You've got a team being able to pinch. We actually see him kind of pass 2 players almost. That would have been kind of easy for him to start picking and maybe putting damage into, but it all fell apart.
Yeah, that's the moment that's going to keep this team up at night if they don't end up winning this series. It's 44-40, like you said, Tony. You get the camo after the overkill and all the momentum in your favor. You should have a good sense of map control and where the enemy team is going to spawn. You don't end up having the opportunity to play around your camouflage. It was a timed push from the side of Shopify to just take down the players in elevator, but that camo is literally negated because he's out of the play, and they don't expect Shopify to recklessly push. No, Shopify knows that they have camo somewhere on the map. They kind of ignore the idea that this camo player is going to disrupt everything. He actually has no impact on the push, and at that point, no matter what you're able to do with that camo, the game's already over. It's like, what, 48 to 41 at that point, a much different scoreline than 44 or 45, 40, 45, 41. You have to figure out a way to allow your camo guy some space and an opportunity to make a play. They were not able to stop the push and get the information quick enough to the camo player for him to be able to react and make a play. And because of it, ITB now in a tied up series, but when they go back and look, they're going to be kicking themselves later tonight at an opportunity to take this series up in their favor 2-0.
Now, we do have some CTF stats on our screen here. We've got Suppressed. He's got a 1.31 KD. He's currently 5th in HCS Arlington. And some really, really good damage as well per minute for him too. So looking pretty good overall on the screen, especially when you're playing with the best in the world. To be 5th and 3rd on all of those stats just shows you that you're very, very consistent across the board for your team. And you're a player to definitely watch out for. What are you feeling when it comes to CTF here, Tony? You know, about how these teams are performing, who are you favoring, how are you feeling about the momentum now going into the 3rd?
I mean, for me, it's Shopify Rebellion all day. They've only lost one CTF back at Arlington, and even after past LAN, like during the offline the online tournaments, they were just as good on Capture the Flag. So now I know Suppress is doing this. Give me Shopify Rebellion.
All right, Shopify Rebellion it is. How do you feel like ITB are going to answer back in the CTF?
I think this is a must-win game if they want to push this to a Game 5 where they know that they may have the best chance to win this series is the Aquarius Slayer. This is a must-win game. I think when I think of Empyrean CTF, I immediately look at ITB and say Jimbo's been playing on the pit and versions of the pit for over a decade. And honestly, ITB were pretty solid at Empyrean CTF at Arlington. If they can somehow figure out a way to negate the S7s from the map, to make sure Suppress isn't doing that amount of damage with those power weapons like he traditionally does, they can give themselves an opportunity to take another objective in the series and guarantee themselves at a strong game type for map 5.
They can indeed. We also do have a pool play update apparently to find out what is going on in the other room as well, because we of course do have all of the stations there, and we do have Space Station. They're up 1-0 right now, obviously the first seed in Pool A. Proton Gaming, they did beat BH3, but Space Station, they cleared the job with BH3 Esports, and they're going to have to wait for their open bracket team to come in. And not really that surprised, Wes, are we?
Yeah, not surprised. If
honest.
it was anything like Game 1, Space Station probably made that series pretty quick, considering we've watched these two games. They've been very competitive, I'd say. SSG already giving us the update with how that series went means that those next two games didn't. No. They probably flew by just like Game 1.
I think they might have, hold on, raced by, right?
Well done. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm here all weekend.
Golf clap.
Thank you very much. So there's some updates coming from Pool A for you guys. We're having to wait for the others to get filled in, but as they do, we'll keep you up to date and in the loop. But I'm excited about this series. I really do feel like ITB are showing a lot of fight, and I expected them to be perfectly honest, and I think they expected to. I think after Arlington, you have to have a level of confidence on your side. I think you have to have belief that you can play with the big dogs and you can put your name on a series and stamp a series to be like, listen, you're gonna have to try, put some respect on our name. Like, you're not gonna have to be able to just kind of breeze by, put your legs up and start gaming like as if you're at home. You're not. You're at LAN, and ITB are definitely coming out to play, so I'm quite happy with how they're performing.
A lot more Halo left in this series.
Yeah.
But the first two games, I love what we see from ITB, and I did not give them a puncher's chance in this series coming into it with how much momentum we saw from Shopify leading into this event. The online qualifiers, the boot camps that they've been putting through, the scrim results that they've been doing against some of the best teams in the world would have led me to believe that Shopify are going to roll over a team like ITB. ITB are standing up to the fight right now so far throughout this series, but this is the game that I think matters. This is the game they need to make sure is hyper competitive, and they get an opportunity, just a window to win this one.
Capture the Flag, Empyrean, I'm loving this. Like you said, some of the players in this lobby have been playing this map and game type for years and years. So we're looking at Jimbo when it comes to managing those power weapons. I guess the artist formerly known as Foe into the breach now have been very good when it comes to power weapon management. Jimbo actually has the highest power weapon kills per game than anybody else in the lobby right now. So get those rockets, obviously get those snipers, and do what you do.
3 go down for ITB very early on. The door is kicked open, and Shopify already on the first BR of ITB right now. Suppress looking to stay alive on this side of the map. It's his job to buy time for his team. Unfortunately, it's a double push from ITB that's not expected by him. As he enters the Mauler, he's taken down, and the map gets reset.
WuTum wanted to make his way down long haul, but he gets shut down. It's mental all the way across the map from the sword side with the snipe, and plenty more ammo to work with. And now, playing a little shoddy snipers is my man Mental. Going out of his mind, Suppressed, already starting that flag. WuTum is sitting high onto the snipe side. He's gonna do everything he can to stop this flag from moving forward, but it's tough to do when Mental is holding this angle just like that.
Body shots will count. They suppress the ITB Esports respawners right now, and that flag starting to get on the move now. SoulSnipe getting it through the Needler, just get taken down before he can get through the long haul. 2 go down for Shopify, and somehow ITB may have denied this cap.
With this shotgun, Mental was daring anybody to push that sword side of the map so he can shut him down and snipe out the one-shot. WuTum ends up right back to the black screen, but Jimbo's moving a flag, and Mental is still going off. That's a double out of him. And Mental now going to push forward here. Snipe in hands, has a teammate with them. It's a 1-2 combo as they look to clear out their base.
Big shots out of Mental, deny a counter cap opportunity from ITB Esports. A killing spree now for Mental, and if he doesn't hit those snipes, ITB would have had that flag through camo and taken a 1-0 lead. But you have to find out and take down Mental. That flag still somehow being contested. The last 2 players from ITB have actually managed to buy enough time to get the slays to allow WuTum to get through camo and take the lead in game 3 for ITB Esports.
1-0 here for ITB, and WuTum still alive and wanting to press forward once again. No answer from Shopify Rebellion, and that flag moving towards the 50, and no answer for a counter cap opportunity. ITB are getting their slays and pushing up once again.
Power weapons coming up right now. Rockets and Overshield is the name of the game. Mental has made his way towards the Rockets. 3 go down for ITB. Make it 4 as Mental picks up a triple kill with the shoddy rocket combo. Overshield surely has got to be in their hands as well. But Mental, without a secondary weapon here, is in a difficult situation. Shoots the last rocket, able to get the kills as Shopify right now. A 3rd player taken down, and now a cap is surely got to be on the move for Shopify.
That was 4 down here for ITB. Mighty's the first 1-2 spawn up, and TchiK is after, but I don't know if they're going to be able to stop this flag.
No chance.
Long haul, it's already there. Suppressed and SoulSnipe, back-to-back kills out of them. No ammo in your shotgun, young man. Maybe should have had his bandit out.
A 2nd flag on the move. It gets thrown flat. Suppress decides to slay. Unfortunately, wrong decision from Suppress. He gets his head ripped off from Jimbo. 1-1, all tied up. A great quick response from Shopify before any real momentum is built. ITB Esports now on their back feet. Do have an opportunity to reset the map. Snipe in the hands of Jimbo as he rotates towards camo. I like this by him. Camouflage control is such an important location on this game type, this map mode combination. Can Jimbo find the picks?
We saw what Mental was doing with that sniper toward the sword side, but we're seeing Jimbo take a very different route, wrapping that sniper through the long haul side. Now over on the high side, the strong side of the map in Shopify's base, but Cykul's gonna win that sniper battle, and multiple going down for ITB means Shopify will be pushing up.
Big snipes out of Mental, resets the map, gains control for Shopify. 3 coming off respawn for ITB. It's that shoddy snipe combo we continue to see on the side of Shopify right now in the hands of Mental. Respawners in the courtyard, can't hit the shot, and he knows somebody has got to be coming for him right now. Jimbo's sniffed out, taken down, and another killing spree on the side of Shopify. As they get 2 down, this should give them an opportunity to push in for the flag.
No more snipe ammo to work with here. Still has his bandit and still has the teammate with them. They're holding down sword side, and I'm sure now looking to take some space, looking to get out. Cykul now focuses on the training side of the map, slowly starting to infiltrate the base of ITB, and once they get going, they're going to be hard to stop.
Behind enemy line, Cykul finds the first kill. It's an easy back smack on the TchiK. Multiple players getting taken down to low shields here. Cykul being a nuisance, but however, on the other side of the map, the flag is being pulled. The rest is Shopify, all taken down momentarily as they're coming off respawn, and the flag is on the move. Cykul's kind of caught out here, top turret. Everyone on ITB has overextended, and Jimbo's found himself the rockets.
Still has 2 to work with right now, making 1, but SoulSnipe finds the first. A long-range rocket is gonna connect. That's Jimbo. That's why he's the power weapon master in the lobby. Overshield ends up being shredded. That sniper not gonna go out, so lots going in favor of ITB, and that includes a flag going in 2-1 lead.
What a play by ITB to leave Mental top their turret, to overextend. They get rockets control, they give up the overshield, and Jimbo with those rockets makes the perfect play to take down 2 players, make it a 4-on-2 with the flag on the move. Such a difficult situation for Shopify to deal with, and because of it, they're able to melt the overshield player and take the lead with that flag cap.
Rises his way into the reticle of Suppress. He's gonna win that battle. Another 3 down for ITB. Jimbo, though, with a long-range angle, keeping Suppress at bay, at least for now, as spawners now start to come up here for ITB, and Suppress wants to continue to grind forward. A one-shot Jimbo. That's not the weapon he wanted. This is one shot. You don't shoot with a plasma pistol. Oh, ends up going down.
Taken down, sloppy decisions right now on the side of Shopify, causing them to start to fall behind. Right now, if you take a look at the slays, Tony, Shopify are doing a much better job with these snipes, with the slays, but it's ITB that have taken the lead. The efficiency, the objective efficiency, and the decisions being made around the flags themselves and the camo control alone has given ITB the opportunity to have this lead. 5 minutes on the clock is a lot of time to try and think about a defensive stance, but right now if you're ITB, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you never go 4 down and that you maintain some sort of map control as these moments continue to tick the clock down.
Yeah, a little over 5 minutes on the clock right now, so theoretically plenty of time for Shopify Rebellion to answer back, but also more time for ITB to get their final capture. 1 cap will end it here on Empyrean, and a one-shot WuTum with a bit of an ego challenge there, but he's going to win that one. SoulSnipe goes down, and WuTum goes forward.
Both flags are being pulled right now. These slays are so important. I believe it's Suppress on the other side of the map that's got the flag already into the Needler pit. If ITB continue to go down, Suppress will be able to continue to advance this flag. Rockets are coming up at the worst time for ITB to try and deal with this situation. They immediately focus on those rockets. 2 go down. Trades are a big win for ITB right now as those rockets get negated. The last rocket going into TchiK's hands, the flag gets denied, and that sticky situation ITB come out ahead on.
And not only did they get rockets, but they also put Shopify Rebellion 3 down, so they're going to be in this space. They're going to know where the spawns are coming from. They are in a perfect position to maybe cap this flag as another 2 down, a fresh 2 down for Shopify, and TchiK takes down a 3rd. Cykul does win his pivotal battle, but right now, TchiK, he gets a trade.
Trades are okay, though. You still have a player that's getting the touch on the first. Respawners are going to deny this flag from getting advanced. I love this decision by Mighties. He's not able to get the trade, but that flag was going nowhere without kills. So you had to figure out a way to try and manifest 1 or 2 more kills in order to get that flag on the move. Mighty's is taken down, the map gets reset. But as I say that, Tony, take a look at the clock. 1.5 minutes off the clock now. Shopify's still down 1, and that clock will continue to add pressure to Shopify throughout this game if ITB can keep this up.
Some much-needed defense coming out of Shopify Rebellion, now looking to convert that into some offense as they approach the base of ITB. But Jimbo ends up behind enemy lines. He gets the pull. Nobody's on spawn. This is going to be it. ITB are going to upset here.
There's no chance Shopify can stop this. Jimbo with the flag in his base will once again take the lead, and ITB with the upset in Game 3 will take the lead and at least guarantee themselves at a chance at a Game 5.
All right, I got goosebumps, folks. That was wild. For me, it has to be the level of patience that ITB are having. They are so composed. They are not sporadic. They have a game plan. They have a strategy. And I got to say, that guy right there, WuTum, he has been a force on this map. He is here, there, everywhere. He's getting in the base. He's pulling flags. He's going back to make sure he's getting rid of anybody who could be in the way. His KD is ridiculous. What is happening right now? This is insane.
I want everyone to pay attention where these kills are coming from throughout these highlights on both sides. So often do you see ITB in the green hall and the camo hall, and that was their focus of control. You always saw Shopify towards the sword side of the map. It is pit 101 to push through green and camo, and that is the kind of strategy that I felt like Jimbo and ITB were going to be able to display. It is so difficult to have successful flag runs and gain map control from the sword side of the map. You might feel like you're getting kills, but how do those kills manifest to actually getting flag pulls? It's such a much longer distance to try and get to the flag from the sword, and you're not able to stop the respawners nearly as easy as forcing them to spawn courtyard when you're controlling the camo in the green hole. I love ITB's strategy, and that was literally an outclass of strategy. You could see how they stylistically matched up, and it's literally a tale as old as time as far as the map pit or Empyrean.
Yeah.
Camo and green control is always the area of focus. ITB showcased they didn't need to outslay their opponents to win that game.
Tony, they went back to the roots with it 100% with strategy. The strategy was so clear and evident, and it was executed so well from all of them. I felt like they always had firepower. They always had a manpower behind them. Nobody was really left on their own very much, and I think that was what was super, super important. You see at the end there, rockets. Getting a trade on those rockets, being able to have a guy rush in to get that trade, to be able to then pick up the last rocket. TchiK pushes through. The pressure they were applying in their base consistently is, for me, what drove it home.
The big difference is you're always coming up with overshield and rockets at the same time throughout that map. And the rockets will always beat the overshield because you can take down multiple players with those rockets as opposed to the overshield where you can soak up some damage. But you saw so often, it was Shopify with the overshield, ITB with the rockets. If you can find a couple of kills like Jimbo was able to in that one situation specifically, that overshield player is going to be irrelevant because of the numbers advantage you've given yourself with those rockets. ITB obviously favoring that green and camo side of the map. Have done a phenomenal job to take the lead in this series.
2 objectives so far we've seen out of ITB. We've seen them send resources towards that strong side of the map. That 3-1 split worked for them so well on Solitude King of the Hill, worked for them so well on Empyrean Capture the Flag, and we have another objective here. It's oddball, it's live fire. Will it work for them? They've just gone 3 down.
The chance to close this series in 4 for ITB right now. Camo goes into the hands of SoulSnipe. Ball also in the hands of Shopify. ITB coming off respawn. You're seeing TchiK push up towards the training side of the map. Jimbo gets spotted out, and SoulSnipe's patience is going to pay off here as he is behind every member of ITB.
Big camouflage grab here for SoulSnipe, and another big kill to follow, but zMightys, he's able to shut down 2 members of Shopify over toward the tower side, but Shopify bringing that ball toward their spawners. This is a good hold for Rebellion.
What a beautiful play by SoulSnipe. He gets the 1 kill, he gets out of dodge, his teammates play the ball, and as ITB are all focused on taking over tower control, SoulSnipe's able to get away with the ball. Add another 17 points for Shopify right now. 4 go down for ITB at the same time, and this is going to result in a Shopify house setup.
And they already have presence on green, so that's going to force the spawners across the map towards the tower side. And apparently Cykul, he was ready for it. That's a huge spawn snipe coming out of Cykul right there. And now looking to get behind enemy lines all the way towards tower. This is a rotation with that ball for Shopify Rebellion.
I love the rotation to green. It's allowed Cykul the opportunity to try and pinch. However, that pinch gets sniffed out. 4 go down for Shopify. A beautiful break from ITB. And although, Tony, I'm not the one to criticize play balls, they should have played the ball right there, and now ITB with a green setup of their own.
Yeah, this is free time now coming in for ITB that honestly shouldn't have been, and now it looks like ITB are perfectly comfortable with rotating that ball back towards the A side. It is they're playing keep away right now, as Rebellion had already taken over green, translated that towards the big door, having to portal out just to get his shields back. You already know they'll suppress. He wants to get back in that fight.
A lot of members of ITB in this house are getting pinched from every direction. Suppress re-engages with that Quantum. He's going to find himself a double. It breaks open the door, tears down the setup of ITB right now. Shopify have done enough to break this setup. Continued to score with the lead right now. Mental creating some space towards the camo. There's so many players from ITB, however, to deal with, and he gets taken down. That ball still in the hands of Shopify as they look to be rotating it towards green. Let's see if they can get a play ball here with at least a 30-point lead.
40-17 in favor of Shopify Rebellion. We've seen two members of ITB pushing right through the jail side, right through Rat Tunnel, but can't quite find the kill there. zMightys, the only player alive here for ITB as Shopify Rebellion surround him, deal with them, and without any hesitation on the ball.
What a big kill right there from Cykul. He drops the ball. He's able to find the one-on-one against WuTum, wins the one-on-one, which we haven't been able to say against WuTum very often this series. And it creates the numbers advantage that Shopify need to hold this setup strong, already up 55-18.
This ball right now is being used as bait at the moment here. And WuTum flying right past Suppressed, and an easy kill for him means a punishing round of slays in favor of Shopify over ITB as they grab that ball, and this is some good time for them.
Yeah, this round starting to get out of hand now, 63-18. Shopify starting to pick it up in the slays department, the S7 and the hands of Suppressed. He can't hit the shots, but he is pushing back. ITB Esports denying them from being able to reach that ball carrier. And look, 73-18, you're able to play with such a significant lead here in round one of Shopify. A much needed momentum swing for them here in game 4.
Mighty does them going down, but WuTum refuses to. A big battle against SoulSnipe and some extra time being earned by ITB, but it's 73 points and counting for Shopify Rebellion. That's just 2, if not 3 rounds of slays, and they're gonna end it there, but a little 360 kickflip action coming out of WuTum, and it's right back to the ball time they go.
They do. They're starting to come back in this round, but the slays are starting to go in Shopify's favor. Once again, this setup is going to be nearly broken here. WuTum got to make a play, drops the ball, hits the G-slide, hits the no-scope, and that's the kind of play that ITB needed from WuTum. Unfortunately, however, you left the ball in house, and that ball somehow rotated by the last player alive from Shopify all the way to back green, and you can guarantee the play ball will come through if enough pressure is felt on the side of ITB.
I have one rule for ITB, and that's if you grab a sniper, give it to WuTum.
Yeah.
God, he's so good with it, and mouse and keyboard is so efficient with those power weapons, especially the sniper. But a missed snipe ends up being the last bullet for Cykul. Can he get the back smack? He will. Multiple going down here for ITB. Right back on that ball is Shopify, and they already have 80 seconds. ITB now needs to come off a spawn towards that green side and needs to get in quick. This is the final push. This is it.
Last push of the round right now. Multiple players getting taken down early. Cykul pivoting from one player to the next. Finds himself a triple kill. All of ITB go down. And Shopify respond from the loss in game 3 with an early, quick round 1 victory.
I want to start a thing now. Them boys just got cycled. I'm gonna start it. It's cool. Don't look at me.
It's not that bad.
No, don't look at me.
I said it's not that bad.
We look like I'm crazy.
It's not that bad.
1-0 lead here for Shopify Rebellion.
1-0 lead. 1-0 lead now for Shopify. Can they push this series to a game 5? An early setup for them as well as they get 2-man number advantage. 3 go down for ITB right now. And this ball out by Camo. Cykul waiting for information to decide where he's going to rotate it to.
Snipe ends up in the hands of Suppressed. Misses that shot, but gets a new angle with that repulse right up to the tower side, but multiple different angles now being created by ITB from mid nest. Suppressed can't feel comfortable here. Luckily, he has his teammates that are watching his back, but some free shots from Jimbo forces him back once again. 6 shots in this sniper. He wants to do something with it.
As this second round gets underway, take a look at the slays, Tony. Round 1 and this early round 2 is dominant from Shopify right back in this series. It feels like every time ITB try to get some momentum, somebody steps up for Shopify. A beautiful no-scope will negate the numbers advantage for ITB momentarily, but Jimbo on a flank right now. He gets sniffed out. Mental gonna get taken down. Multiple members. It's TchiK and Jimbo through the rat tunnel right now to find the first 2 kills, and Shopify now will get taken down. A beautiful job by ITB in a very difficult situation to break the setup of Shopify, and now they get a house setup of their own.
Yeah, a little bait and switch action coming out of Jimbo and TchiK right there. And although Jimbo ended up going down, it's ITB to end up with that ball. Mighty sniping hands. He's gonna lose that one, and with that, WuTum's by himself. WuTum gets squad wiped, and now Shopify Rebellion still have the lead. ITB
seriously struggling right now to try and hold any of these setups. You saw them get the 4 down. They get the setup, snipe in the hands of zMightys right there. Immediately Shopify able to break it without really any significant time going in the hands of ITB. You are asking so much of your team if you're not able to hold these setups for even just one round of slays, and it feels like every single time throughout this game so far, ITB really struggle when they have the opportunities to get a setup of their own.
Shopify Rebellion are in a must-win situation, but they're playing like it right now. That was another squad wipe that we've seen so close to camouflage coming up. Notice how Shopify immediately takes space. They don't want just A, they want the C side as well. They want to guarantee this camouflage, but they also have to guarantee their lives. Two end up going down. ITB with the push.
Look how much space they just tried to create there. They were pushing all the way back tower while Shopify had the ball in house. That is an overextension in my opinion, but it has allowed for them to have time before this next push from ITB, which has been successful for respawners to come through. Right now with this camo, TchiK gonna try and get his team back into this second round. They're able to get a round of slays, they're able to get the ball back into house and start to acquire time. This is where we've seen ITB struggle throughout this game. Is this the moment that they're able to start taking advantage of these setups? He finds the first kill, a second player spotted back house. Suppressed being such a nuisance right now, not taking a ton of damage, still alive. Someone take this man down. Finally, the grenade did the job done, but SoulSnipe is now in the back of house. Suppressed is such a good job to buy enough time to deny any time from ITB from being acquired throughout that entire process.
In Halo, time is a commodity that you simply cannot waste. While Suppressed is buying time for his life, the rest of his teammates are coming up, and look what it leads to. A 3 down for ITB, and Shopify right back on the ball.
Shopify now set up in hands, snipe in the hands of Cykul. He's hitting the low route right now as the ball gets rotated towards the tower. He's going to bait this ball carrier and try to find these late flankers as he finds the first kill onto WuTum. Unfortunately, he blinks and all three of his teammates go down. He's able to find a second kill, tries to go for a ninja on the player cuts, but zMightys does get him taken down. And finally, the first tower setup, I'd say, of the game is in ITB's favor. Is this a more favorable setup for them is the big question, because they have not been able to hold a house setup to save their lives, no pun intended.
ITB not only getting those kills, but getting so quickly as far as execution toward the tower side, but Shopify Rebellion are right back at him. Now a momentary 1v1 and that ball in nobody's hands right now. Respawners are coming up. WuTum hops right on it. Big confidence out of ITB to move that ball towards the A side. A couple round of slays, and this could be a huge play coming out of ITB.
Every single time they get an opportunity to set up, they get completely team wiped, and that's exactly what happens again. Mental with the double, ball back in hand, continuing to push this lead back to 20 now for the side of Shopify.
Ball being dropped momentarily here for Mental. They want to secure these slays before they commit to the ball time. And a huge nade shot. Love the insta-splodes coming out of him. And then finishes off that kill. Almost 70 seconds here for Shopify Rebellion in the 2v2 scenario. This next slay will give Shopify the advantage. That's a double, that's a triple, and that's balling. ITB, you're gonna have one more push off of spawn.
You're gonna get one opportunity, and unfortunately, TchiK trying to hide towards the scoreboard, he gets sniffed out and taken down. The complete push from ITB is gonna be reset once again. Even the first two split spawners on the side of ITB get taken down. Shopify, that pressure that they're applying to these spawners to continuously cycle someone down at all times is their success, their win con here as they take an 89 to 44 point lead.
Just 11 seconds away from sending us into a game number 5, and I'm here for it, Wes. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I'm not going to.
Don't get tired on me. 89 to 44. But ITB still in it. A 3 down leaves WuTum by himself, and it's Cykul right back on the ball. Slays are out, and I think that might just be it.
That's gonna do it, ladies and gentlemen. Our first big series of the day is going the distance. Shopify tie this series up, and we'll find ourselves on Aquarius Slayer, the first to 50 here shortly, and a chance to go 1-0 in pools. This upset could be the biggest in European history, I'd say, on their own soil. And this would be a nice way to kick off this HCS London tournament.
Not gonna lie to you, going through my mind, I think in the middle of that one was, you really need to win this ITB, because you just don't want to find yourself back in another Slayer situation against Shopify Rebellion. I wouldn't. I mean, the chances to kind of push this one forward are going to be pretty slim. It's going to be difficult because also mentally you've got your head in your hand just a touch. I mean, you've been so powerful, so lights out in all the objective maps so far. You let one go here in the oddball, and honestly, it wasn't close, to be honest with you. That oddball just wasn't close enough.
I talked about the style difference we saw in Game 3 and how ITB's strategy was just flat out better than Shopify's. Well, we can say the complete opposite here in Game 4.
Yeah.
ITB struggled to hold their setups. It was a much more dominant performance on the side of Shopify. The rotations were cleaner. The holds were cleaner. They're continuously pressuring respawners like they're supposed to do in oddball. And you saw every single time ITB got a setup, it was almost immediately broken by the first wave that came from Shopify. That cannot happen if you're trying to win these oddball games. But as we look at Game 5, Lot, you said you don't want to find yourself in a series or a Slayer to determine the series against Shopify. We also had some stat that we showed at the start of the series that, Tony, I believe you were the one that said it, about how successful ITB were at Aquarius Slayer specifically.
Yes.
So there's stats on both sides that lead you to believe this is going to be one hell of a Game 5.
It certainly should be, and I think ITB need to try and keep their head propped up, I think. Obviously, it didn't go to plan in oddball, and you're right there about their setup. At times, we saw them have a house setup, and I think you've got your full squad here pretty much, and every single time, Shopify Rebellion being able to just completely obliterate. Like you said, within the first couple of kills, it was just completely over. No holds at all, and that's a big problem. They're going to have to hold their own in this Slayer next. They need to be able to push up. They need to hold the split spawns. They're going to have to do something, and strategy is going to be key, I think.
The good thing about this series and for ITB is we've seen this series now go 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2. So ITB have showed you that they can rebound after a loss already in this series. If you had told anybody on ITB when they woke up and were eating breakfast this morning, hey, if I could guarantee you find yourselves on Aquarius Slayer Game 5 against Shopify, would you take that position? Every single one of them would have signed that contract and been like, put me in Game 5, give me an opportunity to create this upset. They've done the work to get to this point. Can they finish the job?
And Tony, you know, looking at the Slayer as well, I think for me, WuTum has been stepping up to the plate like crazy. It's been amazing. But I do think TchiK needs a rebound on the Slayer, and this is the time to do it. If TchiK wants to see some success with his team here, I think having every single one of those individuals firing on all cylinders is where it's at. And TchiK, he did have a lackluster Slayer, so I think this is the time to bounce back.
In this game number 5, I'm be honest with you, I don't know who has the advantage. Is it a 7-1 Shopify Rebellion on Slayer back at Arlington? Is it the undefeated ITB on Aquarius? I don't know, but I'm here for it. Game number 5, ITB and Shopify Rebellion.
The battle for the first overshield is always such a crucial one. Let's see who comes out on top. 2 members go down for Shopify. Jimbo with Heatwave overshield in hand has given an early lead and opportunity for ITB.
Early lead and early heat wave control. That's until Jimbo ends up going down, so you know that heat wave will change hands, and Shopify will gain even more control, will gain even more map presence.
SoulSnipe starting this one off hot. 3 kills to his name and 2 big ones to take down that overshield. Heatwave players denies Jimbo the real opportunity to get some momentum going here. Control of the map in Shopify's favor right now. They're trying to push out of the base from the side of yellow is ITB, but here comes the push. That SoulSnipe Heatwave kill was big. He's able to find the first kill, but WuTum, somehow, that's a bit of a ninja, Tony, in the corner. Denies a lot of the pressure that Shopify once had.
Another 3-1 split coming out of ITB, attacking that fridge side with 3 players. You saw Zmitys go right up that mid angle. Zmitys ends up going down, but it distracted a lot of Shopify, and ITB did win that engagement. Still, Shopify Rebellion have the lead.
Shopify are all stuck in yellow right now. They're trying to get Jimbo out of the closet. They're able to take him down. That's going to deny ITB's real opportunity to try and keep them suppressed in this base. Suppress, trying to fight out of the front of this base, is going to have multiple teammates trying to push this top car. He's trying to support them, but you can see that ITB are posted up to try and deny that push from happening. ITB still with map control in their favor. They're going to lose TchiK, but they'll trade it out for SoulSnipe every day of the week. Trades across the board. This game continues to be at a high pace. Overshield coming up in 13 seconds, and we still have a 2-kill game on our hands.
And with another overshield coming up, ITB always prioritize making sure they're on the strong side of the map. Lots of presence over towards the P side here for ITB, and it could be a free overshield here for Zmitys. there it is.
I love what we just saw from ITB. Their ability to control the middle of the map and deny the push that was trying to happen on the car side of the map. Taking Suppressed out of the window was a key factor in that. Allowed them to get that overshield. It doesn't transition into much as we saw that overshield player get taken down, but keeping those overshields and these win conditions out of Shopify's hands have allowed this to be a tied game, 15-15.
SoulSnipe ends up going down. The same for Mental, so this is ITB's opportunity to put them 3 down and keep that map control, but you notice zMightys, he's getting chased down to 1 shot. He goes, SoulSnipe trying to find the angle, he ain't gonna get it. A big kill out of zMightys right there, slows down Rebellion just a bit.
Mighty staying alive once again, gets himself into bottom middle. Is anyone from Shopify able to get an angle onto him? Look at Suppress trying to overextend. Good damage from Mighty's, may be able to get traded out. It is, what a phenomenal job by him to stay alive and buy time for his teammates to make a play. Unfortunately, the rest of the team's starting to fall. Shopify with the pressure in the blue are able to cleanly wipe all of ITB and take a 3-kill lead.
Advantage here for Shopify, but they still have to cross over towards that 50. It's ITB spawning all the way over towards the red side of the map. And TchiK, he might end up right behind both Mental and Cykul here towards Car. 3 members stuck over towards the red side, but it's TchiK with that flank over on Car. Cykul with the double. Both teams end up going 2 down, and TchiK is the one with the flank to take down Suppressed and give them that advantage. 3 down for Shopify Rebellion.
Still a 3-kill game, 26-23 right now. Overshield not coming up for another 20 seconds. Pay attention to the map control that each team is going to be fighting for. ITB clearly won the battle for the second overshield. Let's see if they can repeat that.
Another overshield. Another opportunity here for ITB to maybe get themselves back in the game. Only down by 5 at the moment, but you don't want things to get out of control here. A 1-shot SoulSnipe will not survive, but a well-placed grenade by Cykul ends up shredding the shields of TchiK, and back-to-back kills for Shopify Rebellion gives them that overshield.
All of a sudden, it's a 7-kill game. ITB starting to feel a little bit more nervous. The first overshield of the game goes to Shopify here. Heat wave in the hands of Cykul, and they are looking to push with this overshield heat wave. A lot of damage, and staying alive even more so important for Cykul right now, as another clean wipe onto ITB, flush out the closet, and push the lead to 10.
Multiple go down for ITB. It's Cykul and Rebellion that are attacking the P side. You're seeing 3 more members though. ITB taking that same angle. They're trying to drive Cykul out of this perimeter side of the map. zMightys goes in for a flank. Cykul somehow ready for him, chases him right back to the low side, and now he's really chasing him. He wants that kill.
What a job by Cykul to stay alive so many different times throughout this life. He's still alive, taking down a no-shield once again, but not giving up that last bit of health is so important for the presence on the map and the space that he's able to give Shopify right now. Trades are a good thing as they come across the board. A 12-kill lead all of a sudden for Shopify, and the slaying prowess of this team continuing to be in their favor. SoulSnipe at 16, 8, and 11 as this team tries to close the door on this series.
ITB have done a great job to send us into a Game 5, and we've seen them make close to a massive comeback in that Game 2 Slayer. I'm not counting them out, not just yet, but something has to change right here, right now. You're down, almost down to single digits. You got to make something happen here, ITB.
Such a difficult lead to try and come back from, especially on a map like Aquarius where there's no significant power weapons on it. It's a lot of teamwork and a lot of map control that you're trying to fight for, and it's so difficult to not trade while doing so. Trades cannot be the name of the game for ITB. 44-33, 11-kill game. Shopify with the game in their hands now, just need to find ways to find trades successfully to get to 50.
This will be ITB's first loss here on Aquarius, all in 2024 on LAN. A double-digit lead for Shopify Rebellion, but an overshield in the hands of zMightys maybe can make something happen here. It's not too late, but 1 squad wipe, and that's it.
1 squad wipe, and zMightys needs to find a way to be the tip of the spear here for ITB. That overshield is gone. It's given them a man advantage, but immediately it gets traded out. WuTum gets taken down. 2 kills now for ITB. It makes it 49-39. The push is unsuccessful. The overshield is wiped, and Mental gets the 50th kill to avoid the upset, and Shopify rebound in games 4 and 5 to take down a very feisty ITB.
There you have it, folks. Shopify Rebellion. They get it done where things looked a little bit scary at one point or another. They managed to get it through right through the series, and I got to say, I'm really impressed with what I saw from Rebellion, to be honest. You know, coming in, a talking point being, don't let your head go down. Keep fighting through it. When your back's against the wall, what have you got? Because you're going to need that to take down the Titans. And Wes, we've seen already a glimmer of that day one, game one from Shopify Rebellion. So, whew, strap in, folks.
Maybe not
going to be a good tournament.
Maybe not the team we thought was going to put them through the ringer and make them weather the storm, but as we take a look at the series layout, they certainly were forced to weather the storm. Game one, you saw everything you wanted to see from ITB, being able to just get that first point and play from the lead and gain some momentum and get some energy going for themselves. It was a rebound performance in game two on Recharge Slayer, a much needed, but a moment in that game two, I said it after it happened, is what ITB will look back on this series and say, this is the moment that cannot happen if we want to create the upset of this magnitude.
Yeah.
And it's moments like that that will separate the teams at this event, because there's such little margins for error, and that was a big error at the end of that game with that camouflage and the rest of the team falling short. But an unbelievable rebound performance in game three, and then it was Shopify really turning it up a notch there in those last two.
They certainly did indeed. And Tony, when you're looking upon this last Aquarius Slayer, where we had such high hopes for ITB to really not only just take it potentially, but to just give us a really close game five that we didn't really see at the end there. What went wrong from them? You know, we've seen them have such a clean record on this map and MOB. So what really happened, do you think, in terms of them going up against Shopify Rebellion and it all falling apart?
Well, I feel like we did see moments from ITB that I really did enjoy. Like, we saw that same 3-1 split action that worked for them in game number 1 and game number 3. We saw that work when they attacked the fridge side with 3 members and then had Mighties go right towards the mid and angle them out. Like, we saw moments where that did work. However, the moments when Shopify got advantage, they were able to attack the mid. They were able to attack the spawn. They were able to have their way with them. And at the end of the day, they just won more engagements.
Yeah, when I look at game 5 and I recap it in my brain, there was opportunity for ITB to make plays. They got the first couple of overshields. They had the map control to play around. It's what they did with that power up and that map control, or what they didn't do, I should say, that'll leave them wanting more from this series. When Shopify got that third overshield, not only did they clean wipe ITB, they used that overshield to once again clean wipe ITB, and what was once a 2-kill game going into that overshield is all of a sudden blown up to 10, and now the game's just over. Like, now it just took one lapse, one set of slays for Shopify to understand this is how we turn a minor success to a major success that will end this series in our favor. That you need more from ITB, because there was opportunities earlier in that game that ITB had the same level of map control and power-ups, but they didn't transition it to as much as we saw from Shopify.
I think something else that is minor, but also major, and you might not notice it, is got to be the livability of Cykul. Cykul being able to live in certain situations made all of the difference to that game. That last game 5, it just completely waxed the pace off, the presence of a team. Him being able to hold certain spots and angles and stay alive, and they're chasing them, the strategy goes out the window for your opposition.
I mean, just look at his deaths compared to his teammates throughout the series. We saw glimpses of it in that game 5 that impacted that so largely. But 85 and 55, not only did he go plus 30, drop a 1.55, have the most damage on his team, but his ability to stay alive and when you do that as a player, your presence on the map not being relinquished to the other team, they know it's not free to take top pink because you're still alive somewhere up there. It denies a decision that they get to flawlessly make, and it forces them to make one of 2 decisions that could be the wrong one if you're not looking the right way.
Not only does it counteract the advantage that you could have possibly got, right, and the presence and change things around, but him then also being able to not only do that, just get a little bit of his shield back, pepper some damage across the map. He got an assist staying alive. This makes the biggest of differences, and you know, with a map like Aquarius, the swing is real. The swing can be insane, and that's exactly what we saw from Shopify Rebellion. They handled that like absolute pros, and that's something I expect from them going forward too.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic game sense that Cykul has.
Yeah.
It's when to stay alive, when to pick and choose those angles to attack, when to flank. And then even there was one play where Mighties was flanking up towards P side, and Cykul, he snapped right on it. He understood what the situation was. He's so good.
This stat's starting to get scary, y'all.
Yes.
9-1 in Slayers is almost quadrant-esque when we were relating it to Strongholds. Back when they were the undoubtedly Stronghold team in the HCS, Shopify are starting to become that Slayer team. And you can think of the one game that they lost is that game 5 against FaZe, 50-48, where you could argue a very favorable spawns for Snakebite and the boys over on FaZe allowed them to get away with a win against Shopify, but Shopify nearly flawless in Slayers, and there's 2 Slayers in every series, unlike other modes. So Shopify go into every series with major confidence that they have an advantage somewhere here.
They do, and Tony, you're looking at the average margin as well. It's a plus 10.5. Things don't get close to Shopify Rebellion. They run away with it. I think that speaks volumes about the way they actually handle a Slayer and the way that they play it, because they're not playing to keep it close. They're playing to run away with it and put a mark on that.